Hello my sinners, today we're going to be doing a pick a card reading on your next come up, your next big break. Interesting. I haven't started the reading yet and it's already, the word exploitation is already coming up. That might be the theme of something. This is a really fun reading to be doing. I didn't do it sooner. I know I just got burned out. It's always because I burned out. Oh, maybe burnout is also a focus here. Exploitation and burnout are the key words. Okay, we're gonna use the daily guidance from your angels. I'm gonna pull one oracle card for each pile, and also felt called to, which rarely ever happens. There must be someone who practices magic in this group here within this collective of the reading. A card for each pile from the Practical Witches spell deck. Okay, I'm focusing now. Pile 1, please. Spell for pile 1. Okay, they don't want me to go like that. They want me to choose it. Okay, I'm just gonna do it with my eyes closed, I guess. That's what you want me to do? Okay. That's part of the 2. Your next come up, some of the advice you need is that you can't wait for other people's permission, or you can't wait for a definitive outcome or tried and true result before you take the leap. You have to feel with your eyes closed. Even if you don't know where you're aiming for, you have to aim for somewhere. To keep going like that. Okay, so in front of you there are 3 piles for you to select. This is pile 1. Pile 1 is sort of like a, I don't know what these are called, like flippy floopy bean things that come from the tree and they have little nuts in it. Pile 2 has pine needles. Oh, there. Pile 2. Pile 3 is a green leaf. I think this is a dried maple leaf. Pile 3. Okay, so take your time to choose. Just be aware this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Please keep in mind that at some point there might, later down the path, that the reading ends up becoming true and resonate with you, or not at all. You have free will at all times with what you choose in your life path. These messages are meant to guide you and inspire you and expand your perspective on how you can live your life most optimally. Pile 1. Let's take a look at your pile and channel it, shall we? You got 4 of Cups, the Hanged Man, Death, Page of Wands, Temperance, Queen of Cups, yeah, it has like holographic, but apparently these were like ripped off ones, like they're not real official ones. So I went to the gem expo in our city, and one of the people there selling cards, he gave me the deck. I bought his other decks that he was selling, but he gave me this one because he believed it was not in good morals to sell something he knew was bootleg, so he gave it away. I was really appreciative of him for that. Yeah. I only use this for my own personal thing. I'm not using it to like resell, so I'm just using it. The Tower. And Strength. It's kind of interesting that I mentioned the card and the stories of these cards, bootleg, and exploitation was the main word. The cards I actually bought from him were these ones. French Cartomancy. So I like collecting cards. I want to start collecting, but the ones that speak to me. This one is Blue Bird Lenormand. Okay, I haven't opened this one yet. I feel guided to use a card I've never used before for divinating for YouTube or stream. I kind of tried divinating for myself, but I didn't really try. Like I was just like, I don't know, shuffling, you know what I mean? I gave it a try, but it wasn't really for anything significant. I was just filling out the energy, and I think because of that, I wasn't really taking it seriously. It wasn't working. I feel led to use this for you guys. So before I do that, I'm going to start looking at these cards first. Oh yeah, I have to show you guys the other cards. The 2 oracle cards you guys got is, for pile 1, is go for it. Your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. We've been working with you on this situation since its genesis, and we continue to watch over you and everyone involved. Stay on your present paths. Oops, I meant path. Well, I said paths. Stay on your present paths, as it will take you very far indeed. Wow! That's so cool! Second card, release and surrender. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. That's so beautiful and synchronistic. Here are the cards. Forgot to show you guys. And the spell card that you got is a money spell. Make your own Beltane brew. So I'm going to read this at the end, okay? Stay tuned. Alright. Let me channel these tarot cards. Pile 1, your next come up / big break. Let's see. When is pile 1's next come up and big break? I literally heard it's just around the corner. And the song Just Around the River Band by Pocahontas started playing in my head. For me, coming for me. What I love most about rivers is you never step in the same river twice. And there's a temperance card literally stepping in this river. That is so beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I never saw that as Pocahontas. And the alchemical symbol on this person's chest is fire. It's the masculine symbol. Yang for action. And there's water and fire. Yin and yang. Water resembles emotions, feeling, flowing energy, softness. If you start utilizing your softness and your feminine energy in a slightly more masculine way, like emphasizing your femininity. Ooh. So one instance I can think of right now immediately is using myself as an example. Like, I recently had the realization of like, oh my gosh, why don't I do a fashion analysis thing on my stream? Like, that could be a topic of focus. It's what I love, and it ties in with everything else I do, and it could be a chance for a conversation starter. And like how I emphasize that I like fashion, I start showing the things I made. I start showing the beauty and celebrating, you know, putting my makeup on and doing things that resemble fashion and expressive creativity. And that's more softer. But I'm exerting it. I'm like presenting it. I'm demonstrating it. I'm like literally putting it in your face in a masculine way. I'm taking action to place myself in front of you guys so you guys can see how feminine I am. So that means for pile 1, a handful of you guys here are like people who are creatives, or if you're not creative, you're like an author. You write books or something. You do something that needs to be put out there. It's some sort of information. If it's not for entertainment, then it's for information. It has heavily to do with communication and allowing others to receive your messages or receive your, you know, your message, whether it be your presentation or your information of like the intellect of like what a course you're teaching, or like a philosophy or a conversation, a book, a message, a radio. For some of you guys who chose pile 1, you haven't quite started yet. You're still at the beginning and you're doubting yourself a lot. Oh my god, that sounds like me. I think I'm pile 1, even though I didn't choose a pile, because I don't choose a pile, otherwise it'd be biased. Anyways, I digress. You're still at the beginning of your journey in the sense that you have gotten some growth, but it didn't become viral, or it didn't turn into something that like picked up on like a trend and started growing and accumulating. But it hasn't gotten to that point because you're so doubtful of what you need to do next. You're being controlling of your next big break. You're trying to fabricate your next big break. You're trying to guess. You're trying to forecast your next big break. You can't do that. You have to release and surrender. You can't be conditional with your success. That's the hook, line, and sinker. I never say hook, line, and sinker. Somebody here says hook, line, and sinker as a phrase, or knows, like, or listens to that, or like speaks in that lingo. Hook, line, and sinker. You are really good at manifesting because you're unconditional and allowing for everything else. But the one thing that was your blind spot is that you were conditional to how you had success, and you were trying to manifest it in a conditional way and expect it in a conditional way, and you didn't realize you were doing that because you're trying so hard to be perfect and do your best for it, but you don't realize you're actually controlling it. You're suffocating it. You're not letting it come when it wants to and when it should, when it's the right time. Because of that, you keep missing your opportunities for your big break because it's just around the corner. It's just around the river bend. And you never step in the same river twice. Meaning, how you think you're going to get success? There's a million ways to get success. You could be on 5 platforms, and each platform holds numerous infinite amount of ways you can become successful, viral. You can explode and get a lot of views, or the news catches on to you, or a person was recommended to you and they know someone that catches on to you. You cannot limit how success comes to you because you're thinking, you have in your mind that success is I'm yelling at you. I don't normally yell at people for no reason. Like, if at all, I rarely yell at people. I'm yelling at you. Your guys are trying to hit through your thick brain. That's what I'm hearing them say. Your spirit guys are savages, Falwin. Okay, look, this is you. There's all these other opportunities and chances for you to become successful. Your next big break is waiting and lining up. And there's one even being handed to you. Okay, universe is like, hey, look, your next big break. You're in your thought. You're like, how? I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do that. And what are those? These are ideas. These cups are ideas, inspirations, little nudges of, hey, wouldn't that be fun? Or isn't that a good idea? Or, hey, don't you feel like going live right now? Hey, don't you feel like streaming? Hey, don't you feel like making a video? Or isn't this like a good idea for like a makeup look or a picture or a selfie? But like all these things, and you'll get this hunch, and you're like, but that's the part that catches you. It's the but. This head going like this. That's you in butt mode. Yeah, like you're like this so much, you become an actual butt. Your guys are calling you a butt, like B-U-T-T. You're being a butt because you're so conditional. How? So that when all these ideas and inspirations and hunches are coming to you, you're like, but I have to do this. Oh, but I have to take care of that. Oh, it's gonna take long. How long is it gonna be? But what if it doesn't sound good? I didn't really prepare for it. I didn't really script it. Oh, but the lighting's not that great. Then other people might gonna think it's weird. Like, you keep butting yourself. You're not even letting it happen. You're not trying it. You're not being unconditional to it. You're being so judgmental and prejudiced, and you have such a stigma about yourself, toward yourself, about your creations and your ideas and your concepts of what it is that you want to bring forth. You're cock blocking yourself. This next big break keeps wanting to come through. Why? Because there's something that you want to do. It's not like you're like jumping from topic to topic each time and each moment in hand. Like, let's just say you love typewriters. You love typewriters. Like, you're not gonna not like typewriters tomorrow. You're not gonna stop liking typewriters a year from now. Like, you love typewriters, so you'll always want to do something with typewriters. So anything you do about typewriters will be good, because it will always grow and it'll expand into what it is you always want to do. Everything and anything to do with typewriters. And when you do enough of that content, oh, see, here's the solution example. Yeah, but like, I like typewriters, but I don't really want to talk about them. I just want to use them. But even if you talk about them, at some point, you could only talk about so much of it that you move on to like only using them, and you'll show the content of how to use it. Or maybe you end up breaking it open, taking it apart, and analyzing the insides of a typewriter build. Or you end up you get done with that, you start exploring into the history and the inspiration and like the timeline of how a typewriter was created. And then you get tired of that, you start looking into like the different type of typewriters that exist. You know, electronic ones, LED ones that are like metal, you know, one is made of wood, one is made of plastic, some that are 3D printed. And then when you're done with that, you're gonna go and like, I don't know, try to typewriter in space, or make a typewriter out of cheese. Like, now I'm seeing why these like big content creators, their stuff gets bigger and more wild, because there is a streamline of consciousness and self exploration and experience and self-exploration and self-experience and self-expression that you're exploring along this line as you go through each concept and idea and you entertain it. Because as you do that, you allow that part of you to be expressed and to be fully out. And then you can move on to the next form of self-expression. And as you do that, it will just naturally evolve. It will only naturally unfold and evolve and grow and expand and become more intricate. And maybe after you did all those things, next you know, you're not just making a typewriter made of cheese. You're gonna take your typewriter made of cheese and you're gonna go into space and you're gonna try to typewriter in space in the cold air or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna start combining and mixing things, so you always never run out of ideas and never run out of options. But every time you do that, every time you explore a different idea and concept relating to the one passion you have, you're actually opening up different revenues, I hear, and different venues, I hear, different pathways for the stream of audience, money, monetary gain, attention, support, love, gratitude, inspiration to come to you. You're opening up all these channels and pathways because you're not stopping yourself with all these really amazing concepts and ideas. You're trying to be too perfect. You're trying to be too perfect. That's why your next big break is waiting around the corner for you. And for you to realize yesterday's way of becoming famous and viral is not the same way today of becoming famous and viral, because things are always changing, right? Society is changing. Societal needs are changing. Electronics are changing. The computer technology is always changing every minute. And cars, the moment you drive it out of a parking lot, you lose value because the car is constantly ever evolving. You know, like, what is it called? Electronics. Technology. Social culture. It's always moving, always flowing, ever evolving. You plan for what you thought would be good 1 week ago, 1 year ago, 1 month ago. It might not work anymore for right now, this moment in time. So carpe diem. I'm totally butchering that word, but seize the day. Seize the day. Do as people are doing right now. I wanted to say do as Romans do, but I don't know why, but maybe some people want to say it like that. And someone uses that saying. You don't know exactly what's trending right now. You might know if you're following trends all the time, but you need to start living your life. You can't keep holding your breath waiting for the next in. Oh, when's the next trend? Then I'll leap on the next trend and then I'll get my way in and grow that, and then it'll be worth my time. You want to have a raise before you're willing to put in the effort. You want your boss to recognize you. This is a metaphor, okay? It's not literally you like going to work for a boss. You want your boss to recognize your worth and your capability and your potential and pay you and give you a raise based on your potential. That's what it is. You think, I know how much I'm capable of, and unless it's worth my time, then I will do something. What you're actually doing is you're assuming everyone can know how amazing you are from not even know what you do, because you're holding it all inside. They don't know what's in your brain. They don't know what's in this awesome nugget of yours. They don't know what you're capable of, because you didn't put it out there yet. You're still learning how to put yourself out there. And because you haven't mastered the ability to put yourself out there, people don't know what's in your head. They don't know how you're this intelligent nugget in your brain and of all the things you can create and bring into the world. So why are they going to pay attention to you when they don't know who you are? Because you've been coveting yourself. So you have to start putting yourself out there. Do the work, show your potential, show how amazing you are, show your work ethics, show your authority. Exercise your authority and your passion and your given chosen topic field of interest, and then people will see, then people will pay attention, then the race will come. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yeah, you have to let go of being too much in your head. You have to let go of overthinking. You have to let go of what you think people will like and not like. And that goes back, Tara, this is so perfect too. This goes back to our conversation earlier on the stream, how I had to learn that it's not up to me what I think people will like or not like. I will probably most likely like everything I create, but I can't control what will sell. I can't control what people will deem as amazing from me. But there's that fine balance of creating what you think is beautiful and letting it go and being unconditional of how people receive it. And keep creating because you're in love with the act of creating itself. How people receive your art, how people receive your creations, how people receive your book, your voice, your message, your education, your knowledge, your radio talk show, your infographics, whatever it is, your books, whatever it is you have to provide, that's not up to you. You have to let it go. You market it to the best you can. You find the existing demographics that are into that and you place it in front of them. But other than that, it's not up to you anymore. And once you let that go and you're not in your head anymore, you'll keep creating, because every single time you step into the river, it's always different. You have a different concept every time. People in the crowd, it's always changing every time, right? Trends come and go every time. New people are discovering the subculture every time. New people are coming out and falling out of love with a subculture all the time. But it doesn't and it shouldn't stop you from doing what it is you want to do. You can't wait until tomorrow when you think there'll be more people that like what you do to show up before you do it. Just do it. Do it because you have a love for it. Do it and have, I'm hearing, a blind, unwavering faith that those people who are looking for someone like you will find you eventually. But they can't find you if you're not sending out a signal. You're like a beacon in the river, in the ocean. Beep, 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 with the light. Beep, 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 beep. Right? I'm sure it doesn't make that sound, but you know what I mean? You're like a lighthouse. You're shining out the light of where you are in the dark, and people who are looking for you can find you, and they can also see where they are. They can find you. But if you turn off your light, how are they going to find you? If you turn off your voice, if you just stay but and you go like this, you don't do anything. You're just in your brain, in your mind, in your head all day, every day, like this. Literally like this. On the bus, at your desk, on the bed, in the toilets. Well, not in the toilet seat, but on the toilet seat. If you're always like this, thinking, is it good enough though? But is it good enough though? You're not going to shine your light. No one's going to hear you. There's no beacon and signal being sent out. Then how are your people going to come to you? They don't even know you exist. So you need to just do it. Go with the flow. Carpe diem. You never step in the same river twice, so it's okay. And then if you do it, it doesn't work, just try something else. You have to keep doing it and throw to see what sticks. Where's the part of throw and see what sticks? The spaghetti is the spaghetti that you created and you loved. Whatever chooses to stick is the audience that choose if it speaks to them or not. That part is the second half of their consent and their choice on what they feel is like fulfilling their need or really speaking to them. You can guess what people might want from you, but you'll never truly know until you put it out there. And people won't know if what it is that you have to offer is what they really want from you, because they don't know what's in your mind. Even if you describe it to them conceptually through word of mouth, or you do a little rough sketch of what you think is cool, it's not enough for them to love and fall in love with it. People can't fall in love with potential. Oh, this is deep. People can't fall in love with your potential. They need to fall in love with something concrete. They need to fall in love with something that you have brought into fruition, something you have manifested, and it is complete in its journey. It's no longer in the conception phase. It's not incubating and ingesting here. It's not stuck here forever in a liquid goop. Cocoon is beautiful, but a butterfly is a masterpiece. You're gonna go around trying to convince people a cocoon is beautiful? Your cocoon is beautiful? Buy the cocoon, not the butterfly? The cocoon is the process people love to see. But the butterfly is the end result of all your efforts and your creations of what you've put into your concept. People would like to see the process, but if it's always stuck in the incubation phase, nothing will come of it. It will never be anything that could be applied or used and observed. The cocoon is still. If it doesn't keep growing and evolving, it's just stuck like that, hanging off something forever. It's in a state of stagnancy if it doesn't evolve. But when it evolves, the butterfly comes out. It's in full motion. It's not stuck to something. It's in vivid color with all patterns, right? And it has a function now. It unfurls and it starts strengthening its wings. In the cocoon, the ingestion stage, the incubation stage is when the butterfly is ready to emerge and be delivered to the world. It has to push out of the cocoon to strengthen its wings. That's why you can't help the butterfly out of the cocoon, or you'll kill the butterfly, because the butterfly needs that resistance. It needs the resistance to strengthen its wings to grow, so it could be the best version of itself when it's out in the world. What is this resistance for you? The resistance is your mind, the fear of not being received well, the resistance of trolls and haters who actually don't like what you're doing and are trying to put you down because they're projecting their jealousy on you, or their own limitations on you, or their own triggers on you, because maybe what you do ties in with spirituality or religion or your beliefs in the world, and your philosophy upsets them and they want to oppress it because it makes them angry and they're just looking for someone to pick a fight with, and you're not resisting. You're not pushing against this to break through the illusions and the temporary barrier of other people's misconceptions and perceptions of you, and even your own misconceptions and perceptions of yourself, of what you think you can do. You're prejudging your potential. You're being that asshole boss that's not paying yourself until not giving you a raise until you show it. You have to start showing it. You don't feel acknowledged, you're being critical on yourself. You know what I mean? You're being prejudiced towards yourself. You're being your own worst boss. I'm not gonna give you a raise, but you can't, because you know you don't deserve it. You feel the downside, you don't deserve it because you know you didn't do shit for it. Why? It's not that you didn't work hard. You work really hard, but also your energy of working really hard is going all towards your overthinking. All the energy is going into this, so nothing is being shown. Nothing. Your hands are literally tied because you did it yourself. There's even the hangman. You're literally holding yourself back from your next big break, your next come up. Yeah, you have to let your own pride die. There's the strength card and the tower. You have to let your pride go and your ego go of how you want to be perceived, how you want to be received, what you think is professional enough or not, or what's cringe or not. Just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Surrender, release, and go for it. Your spirit guides are giving you a thumbs up, a green light. This is great. Explore your options. Because now in this time of day with the way algorithm is, it wasn't like back then. Back then everything was calculated and well intentioned. You pay for an advertisement and it's just one billboard forever on the highway or by a street sign post, and it's one stagnant picture of a paid ad for 4 months or a week. Social media and the way the algorithm is built, things don't have a long shelf life, right? Some platforms, the shelf life is 24 hours. Maybe for Twitter, I think it's even like 14 minutes. It's done. So you can't put one thing a week ago and expect that's enough. Back then, maybe. But the ones who are passionate just created, they just express for the sake of expressing because it's who they are. Like the classic painters or writers or conductors. And it's funny how I set an alarm. It's like, it's time to wake up. Wake up from your dreams. Wake up from your what ifs and wake up from your fantasies of how your next come up will be. Wake up from your fantasies of your next big break. Stop dreaming about your next big break and stop dreaming about your next come up and start living and being and doing and basking in the presence of the very moment of who it is you and what you represent and what you want to create and bring forth into this world. And when the world starts being able to find you and see you, even it's like 14 minutes, you do it again. It's okay. You fucked up. It's okay. 14 minutes is gone. Do it again. Oh, you're on another platform 24 hours? It's okay. That was cringe. Forget about it. You just delete it. Do it again. Do it again. Because you never step in the same river twice. It's never the same every time you do it. Social media is never the same each year that passes by. Marketing, business, way of communication is never the same each year that passes by. So don't sleep on yourself. Just start living your life, just putting yourself out there and perfect it and master it as you go along. Wow, that was beautiful. Okay, so with that being said, let's look at your money spell. And then I'm gonna like pull some cards from this. I don't know. Do you want me to? Okay, actually they want me to do it right now. French cardomancy. So let's pull 3 cards for it. What are 3 cards? I know it's supposed to be 10 minutes, but it's 20 minutes. I was vomiting out words for pile 1. Okay. Okay. 3 cards came out. 9 of Hearts. Second card is Ace of Hearts. 24, 24. And the third card is 6 of Diamonds, 2. Okay, I'm getting a message immediately about some of you are in relationships and they might be the one that might be mocking or being too critical of your work and trying to analyze and foolproof your concepts and your ideas before allowing you to do it because they don't want you to lift a finger because they're being so protective of you to make sure you don't waste your time and energy, and they want to protect you from being embarrassed or doing anything wrong. They're part of the people who are adding to your perfectionism. You need to be mindful of that and to ask them politely to step to the side and allow for you to learn. To give it a try, to take chances. Alright, let's look at your money spell card. Make your own Beltane brew. Witches celebrate Beltane on the last evening of April. This is a holiday for feasting, dancing, laughter, and lots of love-making. Honeyed mead is revered as the drink of choice for this red-hot holy day. Mix 1 quart of honey with 3 quarts of distilled water. Boil for 5 minutes. You can vary the herbs to your liking, but can try a teaspoon each of clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice. Add a packet of yeast and mix. Put in a large container, cover with plastic, wrap and allow it to rise and expand. Store the mixture in a dark place and let it sit for 7 days. Then refrigerate it for 3 days while the sediment settles at the bottom. Strain and store in a colored glass bottle, preferably green. They're teaching you how to make beer. Liquid gold. Let me think about this. I think if you can't make beer and it's too hard, I think you should make a drink that is inspired by gold and like some of the herbs, like honey too. And you probably get like some sort of tea leaves that represent like money tea. Is there such thing as money tea? Let me find out. Prosperity spell to increase abundance tea. Okay, there we go. Cinnamon money tea by eclecticwitchcraft.com. So let's visit that. I'll put the link in chat, but I'll also link it in the tarot card reading. Cinnamon honey is used as a charm to attract wealth and good fortune. The spell uses cinnamon money tea to manifest abundance in your life. So how would you do it? Oh, so it's just talking about cinnamon honey tea. It doesn't say how to make it. Okay, well, probably you just use some cinnamon and you steep it in hot water. Or maybe you just choose the tea of your choice. Probably black tea. And then steep a cinnamon stick and put some honey in it. I would imagine that would taste good. Let me look up the recipe. I'll find it and I'll post it in the YouTube video. That's what I meant to do because it's taking me forever to find it. The important part here is to have the intention that when you're making it, to set the intention that you're making liquid gold. And when you're drinking it, you're allowing for the abundance to flow through you. You're opening up the different passages of abundance and creativity. An idea is to come to you and allow you to take action, okay? Okay, so that was your reading, pile 1. I hope that was insightful. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video, and definitely subscribe so you don't miss my next reading. Let's go on to pile 2 now. Pile 2, guys. You chose a pine needle. The cards are for you. It smells good. The cards that are for you. My eyelashes are so unbalanced, it kind of bothers me. Okay, the cards are for you. Ace of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. The High Priestess. Knight of Wands. 2 of Wands. Page of Cups. Queen of Pentacles. Okay, and then your oracle card is Heart Chakra. Heart Chakra. Come on, focus. Okay, it's being stubborn, so I'm not going to show anymore. Okay, Heart Chakra. Love is the heart. I didn't pause the music. I would just keep the one on. I would just keep it. I'm not touching it. I'm just... Heart Chakra. Love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being, attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart, as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. Then you have a love spell. What are the chances that have an open heart and a love spell came out together for pile 2? Pile 2, your next come up and big break. Isn't it funny how pile 2 chose a spiky pine needle and it matches with opening up your heart chakra and a love spell. So that means you guys are spiky. You guys are defensive, pile 2. You're like a porcupine. Pile 2, you are prickly. You're a prickly pear. Every one of these cards are looking one way, away from each other. Like everyone, are you in a love triangle? I'm having a hard time focusing on pile number 2. There's something evading, like not wanting to. How does it tie in with the next come up though? Your heart's blocking your success because you don't want to face hard emotions. Love and love octagon. What that shit. Okay, do you guys know of a story or a movie that has a love octagon instead of a love triangle or love square? I'm serious. Because this is kind of reminding me of that. It's like, how to you might have been through a series of heartbreaks and it led for you to close your heart, and because of that you have a hard time facing hard emotions. And so when things get too confrontational, even for others or yourself, relating to yourself, you automatically shut down. So how is it affecting your business and your career? Because business is about people. You can't do good business if you don't know how to work with others. It sounds so savage, but it's so true. Unless you're selling to robots, you have to face hard emotions. You have to face when a customer is being difficult to you. You have to know good boundaries, how to speak up and how to bargain when someone's trying to exploit you for your time or work you to the bone to the point where you burn out. You have to know your worth. But you can't when your heart is closed, because you're not having a good sense of awareness of what feels right or what feels wrong. Your hunches and your intuition is skewed. And your heart's not open to yourself, so you have closed heart to your feelings, so you're not listening to your heart. You don't even know what's right for you. You're just kind of going through the motions. I don't know why music is coming through with each pile so far. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the musical episode, Once More with Feeling. That's you guys. You're just going through the motion. That's the song. The lyrics go, everyone has a corner. It's true. Going through the motion lyrics. So there's a part of the song that played in my mind and I don't know the lyrics. She goes, going through the motions, walking through the park, nothing seems to penetrate my heart. That line is you, and I'm gonna strangle you guys for making me sing that musical. Because it's my guilty pleasure, but it feels so cheesy singing it out loud. Oh, that's how you guys feel. Because I'm not normally like that. Why am I so embarrassed? You guys can't sit with your emotions. You're a bit jaded. But because you're not in tune with yourself, you're not really in tune with others. So how can you be on the come up, and how can you be prepared and ready for your next come up and your big break when you're not even in tune with yourself or your community? You're out of sync. You're not in sync. Wow, your spirit guides and your ancestors are so funny. Pile 2. Your next come up and big break is very heavily dependent on other people. You need to work as a team with other people. So example, I could even relate to this. I can hear it. So example, I'm a fashion designer, right? I make clothes. I could always have myself wear it or put on the mannequin and take a picture. But it won't be nearly as effective or go as far unless I have models to wear it. Not just one model, but multiple models to wear all my designs collectively all at once for a fashion show, for you to get the full effect of what the collection and the concept in my mind look like. Right? But if you hate people and you resent them and you can't stand to be around them, you're gonna avoid people. You're not gonna have models. You're not gonna have a fashion show. You're just gonna have yourself. So unless you start doing crazy editing and edit all 12 of yourself or 40 of yourselves for a show, you can, but it's a lot of work. And even then, you're missing something called cross-promotion, cross-collaboration, cross-pollination. For them to share to their audience the amazing things that they've done, that they've contributed to help with expressing from the heart your work. They're expressing through you. You're expressing through others. You're cross-expressing. You're cross collaborating with each other with your different strengths. And that's what makes something grow big. That's what adds value and emphasis and a presence. So, example, I create a collection. I have a certain amount of audience, right? But if I have a friend or a model who wears my designs and her pictures of my dress, of herself wearing my dress and modeling my dress, is shared on her platform, her community gets to see her in a different light through me, through my dresses. But when I share pictures of her wearing my dress, I get to show my dress in a new light that people see beyond just on a mannequin or beyond me. They see another person wear my designs, and they see how my designs can live and exist and it be expressed in a different way. And the photographer who took the picture can share that on their platform and share it with their community, and the community can see what sort of beauty they see through their eyes that they choose to capture. And every person they capture helps them express more of themselves through others. And in order to have that, your heart has to be open enough to be able to see the importance, at least, of what others have to bring for you. You don't have to be best friends with them, but you need to be open-hearted creatively to allow them to express themselves through you, and vice versa. It's reciprocal. It's not just you expressing yourself through them. They are also expressing more of themselves through an extension of you. You're helping them become a fuller version of themselves by implementing more of what they have through the extension of you to themselves. Another easy example would be this makeup I'm putting on. I don't look like this when I wake up, but this makeup, these eyelashes, the foundation, the blush, the haircut is helping me be an extension of an expression of who I am. If I didn't do my hair, I didn't do my makeup, I'm thinking I'm that way inside, but you don't know I'm really like that because I'm not showing it out. But I'm not showing it out because I'm not using the collaboration of all these other given resources to work together to fulfill a bigger picture. You know what I mean? I'm a model, you know what I mean? Something, something, something on the catwalk. On the catwalk. That song? It's being seen, but you're trying to put on a show. You're trying to film a video. You're trying to make a movie. You're trying to write a skit. You can't do it without other people. So how you can prepare and how you can be more open to increase the chances of your next come up and big break, the moment you open your heart. Love is the heart of the matter. Your heart is the center within your physical being, attuned most to love. It's safe for you to love and be loved with an open heart, as we stand by with perfect protection and guidance. So, let's read your love spell. You have a goddess body blessing balm. Okay. Your body will receive much attention during your lovemaking. Someone's getting action. So loving attention from you beforehand will consecrate the temple of your body. Take 1 cup of natural beeswax, chip it into a double broiler and heat very slowly and gently. Add 1/4 cup of sesame oil and stir with a wooden spoon until the wax has melted and blended with the oil. Let it cool to skin temperature and add 8 drops of sandalwood oil, 5 drops lemon oil, and 2 drops rose oil. Anoint yourself with the oil by dabbing a bit on your fingertip and placing it on your heart, circling outward until your entire body is fully blessed. So to do some self-care with the intention of loving yourself and trusting yourself, acknowledging yourself, celebrating yourself, and seeing how you are a very important component to everything it is that you're trying to make. And to realize that no matter what you do, no one could take away your worth. They can't exploit you for your work because it's your work. Example. the model wears a dress and then like doesn't credit you. But people, why was the music playing the whole time? This is weird. See? Things aren't going the way I planned for PAL 2. This energy, man. This energy for PAL 2. Let's just say the model does like, where's the dress? Posts it. People know. People know. Someone made that dress. Someone made that dress. She modeled it. But who did she model for? The photographer takes a picture of the outfit. Someone made the outfit. And that model is someone. The photographer didn't model the model. Didn't model the dress. Or made the dress. The photographer took the picture. So people are going to ask, who are the people in the picture? Who made the dress? It's like that. The type of work you do involves other people, and other people can't cut you out of the equation. That's what it is. So I kept trying to stop the music, and it kept starting on its own. It's like air. Everyone needs it. Whatever it is you're providing is an integral part of the system of the business or the concept, and they need it. They can't not acknowledge you for it. It's like having a fashion show and not crediting the model, or not crediting the designer or the models in the team, but most importantly the designer, because they're not going to come out naked. It's a fashion show, not a naked show. So you have to let go of that fear, PAL 2. Fear that you'll be exploited. Okay, let's pull some extra messages for PAL 2 to finish off the message. I feel like PAL 2's message is pretty straightforward, but there's something that's still not addressed here for having a closed heart and allowing it for you to make your next big break, your next come up. Four of Swords and Page of Wands came out. You need to do some shadow work, my dear. I literally heard, oh man. Well, you don't have to do it all at once. You can do a step at a time, okay? I'm a shadow work addict. Pony, I'm a masochist. I'm an emotional masochist. I'm like, where's the truth? Tell me, even if it hurts, even if it rips me apart, I like it. That's probably why I'm able to deliver all these messages for you guys, because I'm constantly putting myself through the ringer. I'm like, oh, my ego's dying. Oh, my pride. Oh, my sense of identity is crumbling. But it's okay. It's all in the name of good faith. Okay, so what I'm hearing is a good start is listening to affirmations. Okay? You don't have to be like, when did my first trauma start? Where's the root of my cause? What happened when I was 7 years old? I need to go back to this trauma and sit with it and let myself cry. No, that's too much. That's sometimes like it's too direct to the wound. You can't just go straight to it. You have to kind of like, you know, soften the wound, soften the scab, and clean it out a little bit first, right? So how you do that? Affirmations. So affirmations for a closed heart. A 10-minute meditation affirmation every morning, or meditating with the intention of opening up your heart. Doesn't even have to be anything direct. It doesn't have to address anything exactly like, oh, when does someone cheat on you to trigger you? It doesn't even have to be like that. It's just the intention is to open your heart. So you could have a very general affirmation video that you listen to every morning for 10 minutes saying, I love myself and I want to start caring for myself and I want to feel good and I believe I can be happy and I believe there is happiness out there for me and I believe my heart can heal. Like things like that. That seems on this very surface level, but it's going to be the unraveling of everything else, because once you start that little bit of intention, you will start seeing as your days go on. You start seeing, it's like the tip of the iceberg. He's looking at the staff. It's like a really long staff, right? But he's only focusing on the tip of the iceberg. You'll start realizing, you'll see how it extends, how it connects to the rest of the branches. You're going to see where it leads. It's going to take you to, oh, I'm hearing an example of like, I woke up today, I did the meditation, and I realized that I don't remember the last time I wanted myself to be happy. I don't remember that. And that's big. Don't think that's not big. Never, don't underestimate yourself, pile 2. Don't underestimate the importance and the significance of something, no matter how big or small it seems. Okay? Because it's deceiving. The worth of something is deceiving. You can't measure in size. Same with if you're expecting your next come up, your next big break to come from something huge, it could come from something small. And your success could be something that trickles in overnight slowly. You might not have instant virality overnight. It might not be something like that. It might be a view here, a view there, 10 views here, 10 views there. And then next you know, by the end of the month, you have like a couple thousand views. And that's just as big as someone who went viral overnight and have a couple of thousand views in 24 hours. It's the same thing. It's just different way of virality. It's a different form of growth. It's just a different manifestation and outcome of the path that can come to you of growth and expansion of what it is that you want with your next big come up. It's the same thing as connected to your heart. When you start allowing yourself to be like, oh wow, it really has been a while since I let myself, and I actually said to myself that I want to be happy. You're going to sit with that, and over the next week or so, you're going to start allowing yourself to entertain, to even find little pleasures in things. Tiny little moments that you're grateful for that you never took the time to notice before. And then it bleeds into being thankful for the people in your life, or just being thankful you have a roof over your head and you can have soap, your favorite soap, whenever you want. And that you are able to, you enjoy the process of cutting off the edges of your toast because you don't like eating the outside part of your toast or the corners of your toast. You can cut those out and be just thankful that it's the experience, and the little moments that you can have with yourself to do that is so nice that you never noticed before. Like the first time you decided to cut out the corners of your bread when you were like really young and you realized you didn't like it. It had nothing to do with anything bad necessarily. Something very neutral. It's just you in a relationship with your food or the object or the bread you're eating. And that could bring up little small sentimental feelings of nostalgia that would warm your heart. It doesn't have to be other people that warm your heart. It's you and your experiences about the world, towards the world, that warms you up. Even what other people do and don't do, it still depends on us how we respond to it, whether or not we choose to allow it to warm us up, or we shut it down and we turn away and we're like, it's not that important. They're just saying that to be nice. It's just a bread corner. Yeah, it's just my favorite. It's just my favorite soap. It's no big deal. It's just another day. It's fine. No. Yeah, sure, I have a place, but I not have one tomorrow. Like, now you're just like condemning everything you have. You're condemning it to yourself. You're choosing to see the lack of everything. Because Pile 2, you should be aware. I really feel like Pile 2 here is spiritual. Pile 2, you should be aware. For everything that is present, there's something equally lacking in its presence. There is an ongoing duality happening simultaneously at once. Every time you find your truth and who you are, you're going to find a false truth of who you are. In order to find the truth of who you are, you have to be able to identify the false truth of who you were once. It doesn't mean it has to hurt you. It doesn't mean it has to be a bad thing. It doesn't mean it has to disserve you. It's just the opposite. It's just the presence of something that opposes or is polarizing to where your stance is. It doesn't have to be good or bad. It just is. For every person that likes you for who you are and what you stand for there's equally another amount of people that don't like you for who you are.
Thank you so much, best friend!
The clearer you become about who you are, the more obvious it'll become how unclear others around you can be. Because you could discern, you can see, for every discovery and expansion that you explore about yourself will be every moment opportunity of lack and things that were missing that you can also discover equally and realize and notice that was once within yourself and others around you as well. Even when you didn't think that anyone liked you, there were people that liked you and there were people that hated you. You just didn't know about it. You weren't aware. For example, closed heart, right? Also with people who don't want to reach out, worrying about collaboration, exploitation, right? So it's very similar to pile 1, except instead of being so in your head and like, perfectionist tendency, which is what pile 1 was, pile 2 is, if I keep putting myself out there, the more I put myself out there, the more I'm going to get hurt. But the thing is, what does putting yourself out there mean? You have to put yourself out there all the time. In many ways, different forms. Even if it's not social media, you're still putting yourself out there because you have to go and work. You have to go get hired. You have to represent someone. You have to face people. You have to work with others. You still have to put yourself out there. Okay, let's just say you don't work. You have family members. You have to see friends. You still have to put yourself out there to what? Put yourself out there to establish a connection, to establish a relationship, to establish a bond. Why? Because it benefits you. Because it sustains you. It fills you with sustenance, emotional sustenance. It's a networking. It's a social networking. It's a community. It's survival. So social media is the same thing. It really comes down to your intentions of how you use it. Social media is literally an amplification of what you would do in the physical reality. It's your intention. How you intend to use social media will reflect that. How you intend to present yourself when you go outside and you set the tone, it will reflect that. So example, maybe in real life that's why people live alter egos online, right? Because in real life, let's just say they have a very mundane office job. They like that. But they want to explore like a really crazy kinky side and they start like OnlyFans or something. But the two will have different attentions, different type of reactions. You both still have to put yourself out there. You both are still going to be liked or disliked from other people. You both aspects, whichever identity you choose to take, you still have to represent one form or one type of truth. This one is a quote-unquote boring, serious office worker. That's your identity. You have to put yourself out there to be known like that. And there are people that are going to like and dislike you for being this person. And then there's this person who is an OF person who creates content, is into lewd stuff, has another truth and identity, and they also attract different people who like and dislike them. But you're the same person. You're multidimensional. People who dislike this person might like this person, and people who like this person or dislike this person might like this other person, vice versa. But the crazy thing is, these two people and two identities are both yours. It's one and the same. So people both like and dislike you based off what they think, they know, and don't know of you. So what does that mean? People don't know shit about you. It's just their perspective and projection about you. So what they think you are, they decide if they like or don't like. But you're both. And this is just two examples. You could be like 6 different kinds. You could be an octagon of personalities. And that person that likes you, when they find out you're like this, they might not like you. But then they find you like this, they like you. And you know what I mean? Like, you can't control that. Because if you get controlled by what people like and don't like about you, about every aspect, you're going to become a puppet. You're going to become their marionette. Oh, I'm going to do this to not trigger you. I'm going to do this to not trigger you. But then what happens? You lost yourself. You lost yourself. The self-love. And because you lost yourself and your self-love and your self-identity, the people who would really, truly, genuinely like you, as they organically get to know you and see you as you unfold and still stick around, even though they see sides of you that other people might leave for. Example, right now, you think you like me, right? What if I start picking my nose? There might be at least 3 people in the audience that's like, ew, what a gross person, and they'll leave. They're like, oh, I thought she was cool up until then, but she started picking her nose. What a weirdo. Because they had a certain mindset of who they thought I was until it wasn't. But that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be organic. You're supposed to be you. You're supposed to let yourself unfold. You're supposed to be you. It's your job to be you. It's not your job to manage other people's expectations of you or what they like or don't like of you, because you can't. Because if you do, you'd be trying too hard to control other people. You're no longer in empowerment about yourself. You've lost control over yourself because you've given away your power to everyone else to wait for their validation of whether or not they accept you for all these multiple beautiful dimensions of who you are as a diamond. You can't do that. You have to just keep bravely being you, all the sides that you are that naturally comes to you and is inspired by you. Not forced, inspired. And whoever falls away, falls away. Whoever stays, they stay, but they stay stronger. They get you more. And maybe they might not be into nose picking, but they can respect it. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll be weirded out that I know what a snowball means. But they could respect that. I know that. It doesn't matter, because those who stay with you, those are the ones who learn from you and learn with you and can appreciate you, and vice versa. People who are strangers and people who are friends and people who are coworkers and people who are colleagues, they're all the same. It's connection. And you can't force, like Pile 1, you can't force how people receive the end product, which is you. All you can control and pilot is you. How you choose to present yourself, how you choose to express yourself, who you choose to be. Not in a state of contemplation of editing yourself and wondering if it's good enough and criticizing yourself and being too prejudiced and too judgmental about who you are and who you should be that is okay enough for the world. If you just let go of other people's expectations and letting them have a hold on your ego, and you start paying attention to what really speaks to you and who you are, and you just focus on being you and being free and being expressive and being genuine and having a story to tell and being that beacon of shedding your light out there, people who are meant for you, people who get you, people are looking for someone like you can find you. How can they find you? How can your people find you when you're too busy being someone else? You're being like Amogus. You're being a fucking sus. If you're really purple on the inside and you're looking for other people who love purple and they're also purple too, why are you wearing a fucking red suit? If you wear a red suit, only red people will recognize you. The purple people will not even see you at all. And then you're going to feel rejected deep down inside and wonder why purple people don't like you, not realizing why. It's because you're rejecting yourself. You're the one rejecting yourself first. That's how it begins. People can't reject you unless you reject yourself first. People can't exploit you unless you allow them to exploit you first by you exploiting yourself. Because you allowed it. You're like, yeah, I can exploit it. Yeah, this person could be exploited. Because you're the one who is giving away the power. But if you realize that, you have the choice to just be you, and you don't have to entertain those people who you can control anyway. They're just gonna go away. And if they don't, you'll have to find safer measures, because you are meant for a path. You're here listening to this video asking for the next fucking come up and big break. because it's within your energy and your lifetime and your purpose to be walking down this fucking path. You're not listening to this for fun. You're not staying here and just, I'm bored, I'm not nothing. No. You came here and you showed up to this video because this message resonated to you. And you can't argue and say, no, I'm not going to do any of that. It's not meant for me. It's not worth it. Who else are you going to be? Answer that. That's an even better question. If you don't want to be you, who are you going to be? You can't be anyone else better than you can be yourself. If you be anyone else that you think that you'll be liked for better, you just be an imposter. Totally sussy. You know what I mean? I'm going to yell at you, but I feel like you're not seeing the bigger picture here. You're putting too much validation in other people's opinion and you're giving down to yourself. It's like you're not even listening to yourself and you don't count yourself as one person. Like if you're in a room by yourself, you don't think there's anyone. You don't think there's anyone there. You're like, oh, I'm here. I'm one. Like you've become so selfless. Start practicing cultivation of self-appreciation and self-worth. You know what book I'm going to recommend to you guys about too? And then I'm going to move on. I'm trying to find the book. I can't find it. But the book is called I'm Worth More. Okay. I've been reading this book. I haven't completed it, but I found it and I started reading it. I'm on like the 2nd or 3rd chapter and it has been transforming my life and it has been putting a lot of new thoughts in my mind of things I never recognized before. So you say, I'm worth it. But what if I say, yeah, take that and extend it. You're worth more. More, much more than you think you are. And you're like, how? I can't even fathom that. That's what you're meant to do. You're meant to expand beyond what you think you're capable of so you could do what you're meant to do so you could have your next come up, your next big break. You can't have this break when you're already letting other people break your path. You're on the highway and you're letting people get in your way. You're letting like little stones and rocks bother you on your main path. How can you go on a big path to do big things, important things that would change the fucking world when you're letting tiny little peanut gallery voices make you feel like you're no one? You have to see the bigger picture. Your need and your passion and your drive and your vision and your goal for what you really want to see in the world and the change you want to bring to it has to be bigger, stronger, and more urgent and more important and take much more priority than your fear and the importance you're giving to every other person's opinion about what you're doing. That's the only way you'll go through. If you don't have a bigger purpose and you don't have a bigger drive that's really pushing you through, really sustaining you, if your reason is not solid, these little petty peanut galleries attacking your heart, ankle biters, bottom feeders, they're gonna get to you because you're not keeping your eye on the prize. Maybe your prize isn't big enough to really speak to you. And if it is, you have to really ask yourself, why are you prioritizing little ants over here, what they think, when it has nothing to do with the bigger picture of where you need to go? Are these tiny ants contributing to where you need to go? No, they're not. So why are you letting them distract you? Know what I mean? But you're letting them distract you because you're giving more value to them than your own words. You're putting more importance and emphasis to the things they say than your own thoughts and your beliefs and what you're doing. This book is by Rob Moore. Rob Moore, M-O-O-R-E, okay? Rob, M-O-O-R-E, I'm Worth More. Realize your real value and earn your success. I highly recommend that book for you guys, pile 2. Okay, so with that being said, I'm closing up pile 2's reading and we're going to move on to pile 3. If you like this reading, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and give my channel a follow on YouTube. And yeah, so you don't hit the notification bell too, so you don't miss my next video. Okay, let's go to pile 3. I feel energized by pile 2, man. That riled me up. That made me want to like fight, not them, but like it made me want to like fight the peanut gallery for them. Maybe want to like step in like big sister mode and be protective. Pile 3 is Maple Leaf. Pile 3. Your cards are 3 of Cups. Pile 3. 3 of Cups. The Chariot. 5 of Wands. Queen of Swords. 4 of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Queen of Wands. Oracle cards are Blessing in Disguise. Blessing in Disguise and Cupid. So, Blessing in Disguise. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. Cupid. We send great waves of love into your heart and mind, awakening your love for life itself. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Oh, your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has... I feel like it's a... Pile 1, 2, and 3 are related. It's like the different stages of somebody. Or someone can start off at 2 and then go to 1 and then 3. Something like that. It's like a progression. Your clear decision to accept and enjoy romance has triggered this reawakening. Allow yourself to spontaneously celebrate love in all of its glorious aspects. Aww. That's sweet. Your spell is a house spell. I'm not going to read the spell yet, but the spell title is Saturday Sanctuary Spell. That sounds nice. Pile 3. Your next come up. Big break. I'm going to pull a little bit more cards to clarify because I think I have an idea on that you're reading, but I'm not quite sure. I feel like it's not quite clear. Clarification for pile 3, please. The message for the next come up. Big break, please. Pile 3 has something to do with collaboration with a group. So, it has to do with a group of people and conflict and money. And this money is a collective agreement between all of you guys pooling in for something, but there's conflict between you guys, so it's preventing something from moving forward. And if one person drops out of the pooling, it will kind of set things back. But things are actually resolving on its own. Maybe it's a business idea. Like it's a business idea and people are pooling in, like it could be also like something like a Kickstarter, like Patreon. It doesn't even have to be roommates. It could be a collective amount of people who are like pooling in, but they want to like have a say in it, and it's like being a tug of war for like a concept back and forth. But this is about your next come up and big break, so let's see how this will go. I'm getting the message of like setback. You could see something that seems to be a setback is actually an inspiration for something beautiful to be explored and to come out from. Like something beautiful will come out from it. Yeah, okay. The bottom of the deck is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Swords. Bottom of the deck is 6 of Swords, and then 2 more cards I threw out. Pulled out is 5 of Swords and Knight of Wands. So someone is hot and cold, very emotionally unstable. Dare I even say immature? There might be a few here like that. It could even be like an idea, like an organization that you're setting up, like a great organization, like a corporation, and then these people want to have a certain say. They're like, well, if I pull in a certain percentage, I should have more of a say of like a creative say of what should happen with this company or the direction we should take or this and that. And they're almost kind of being like a tyrant, like a power controlling tyrant. And you may have had, you're really holding on to a concept that we really wish for it to be successful, but Spirit Guide is actually telling you that it is better to let the cards fall where it may, because even though this idea seems so good, you really want it so much to be like to work out. Actually, even if the idea is amazing but the team is shit, and it actually pulls through and it works out, you're going to be actually stuck with the people, and you're going to end up having your life is going to end up being harder than it should be, because you're kind of like being married to them in a way. You're binding into a contract with a group of people for the sake of money, and now you're in debt and you have to depend on each other to get each other out of a sinking boat. Why do I say that? It's because these people are not running in an efficient way, all for the name of fighting for this one idea that seems so promising. But they're actually eating away at each other and cutting away at each other. And instead of working together in harmony towards success, they're sinking each other's boat and losing more money out of a really failed executed concept. Sunken cost fallacy. Is that the term, Johnny? Like a business term for like when you go through an endeavor that seems really good and you're like, yeah, but this is such a great idea, but everyone's being shit. They're being shitheads, and it's like wasting more time and more money than it is like, you know, building it up. That's what's happening here. And I don't want to say God, but I'm going to say God, okay? I'm hearing the word God, okay? So some of you guys here might be religious or more towards a certain faith, so I'm going to say it. Yeah, God is saying to let the card fall where they may. These people who are not meant for you in your life, let them fall away, because what you think is seeming like a really beautiful treasure that you're holding on to is actually just the egg. When you let go of this preconceived notion of a really great idea, the egg will hatch, and the true value of the true idea inside will be birthed from it, and that gift is for you. So let's just say example. I keep thinking about Super Mario. I'm gonna say it. So let's just pretend, you know the story of Mario, like the guy who like made the voice for Super Mario. Okay, so he was sitting on a beach one day. He had no job, trying to figure out his life, and he receives a call in the last hour from his friend saying, hey, they're doing like a voice acting audition for this Japanese video game called Super Mario. Do you want to audition for it and like try to make a voice for how like this Italian super character, like video game character, will sound like, and audition for it? You're like, have 1 hour left before like it ends, and if they choose you, who knows, you'll make a few bucks or something. He was deciding on not going, but then last minute he's like, oh, what the heck, what do I have to lose? I'll go. So he went to audition. They almost were about to not let him go in because he was late, but he's like, oh, you know, my friend referred me. So they're like, okay, fine. So they let him go in. He go and he does the acting for Super Mario. He does the voice, it's me, Mario, and all these sounds he thinks Mario, the character, is supposed to sound like. And the people there loved his voice so much, they hired him on the spot. They're like, you're the voice we need. We like your interpretation of Super Mario. We love your interpretation of Super Mario. And he got the job, right? So now you're wondering how this has anything to do with the concept and the story of what I'm talking about? You know how he was sitting on that beach that day and he was doing nothing? Let's pretend the story that I'm telling you guys was what happened way before, that was leading up to the point where he was even sitting on that beach that day. Maybe that day he was sitting on the beach and he realized all the plans he had with his people fell through. The money he invested in and all that stuff didn't work out. Everyone got their money back, and the plan for this really wonderful seemingly invention idea or whatever it was didn't come to fruition. Now he's trying to figure out where his next path in life is, so he's just going to go to the beach. There's nothing better to do. He needs to figure out where his next income is going to come. But because he happened to be available that time and place and that day, he received the call. He took it, and he did something that seemingly was insignificant. It led him to something greater. It allowed the chance to birth a potential in him that came so naturally that was even better than the previous project and plan he wanted to do that he thought was so amazing. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? It's like that. That's the energy. To trust. That's what goes back to blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise that these didn't work out. What appears to be a problem is actually part of your answered prayer. You'll understand the reasons behind your present situation as everything resolves. Trust in heaven's protection and infinite wisdom to answer your prayer in the best way. Yeah. Just trust and keep an open heart, an open mind, and knowing that things are happening for a reason for you. Then that's how it will lead to your big break. Your next come up. Your next come up is trying to reveal itself to you. It's trying to hatch itself out to you. But it can't if you're conditional how it comes to you, how it's supposed to look like. And you're looking away because you're busy wanting something else, instead of paying attention and being present of what could be coming your way. It really intertwines with both pile 1 and 2. So I really highly recommend you guys to listen to pile 1 and 2. You're resisting the flow, pile 3. You're resisting the flow. Things are trying to fall apart and you're trying to keep it together. But that's only prolonging it from falling into where it's supposed to be, and for you to be in the right place, in the right rooms with the right people that you're meant to be with. You need to trust. Trust in the universe, trust in God, trust in oneness, trust in your guides, trust in yourself. Follow your happiness, follow your heart. Keep it open and see things for what it is, not rose-colored lenses of what you hope it could be. When you see things for what it is, you can accept it unconditionally. You can be grateful for it, because then you'll know, okay, I really like this idea, but I can see how these people are not maybe the best choice and it's not harmonious. And maybe I can't make this idea happen right now, but it's okay. Like, there might be another path for me that later on might even open it up so I can revisit this idea again. It's like that. Okay, so let's go to your Saturday Sanctuary spell. File 3. Sunken cost fallacy. Continuing equals continuing to invest into, even though it's no longer worthwhile because you already invested a lot of resources into it. That sounds like gambling, right? Like a gambling addiction. Saturday Sanctuary spell. To anoint your home as a sacred space and protect you from harm, rub any one of the following essential oils, undiluted, on your front door at the top and bottom. Cinnamon, clove, cypress, dragon's blood, or frankincense. Walk through the door and close it securely. Take the remaining essential oil and anoint every other door and window. At the witching hour of midnight, light anointed white candles and place them in every doorway and windowsill. You have now secured your home with the power of magic. That means to protect your energy, to have boundaries of who you bring into your life. Long term, home is your safe space, right? So if you agree to sign a contract to be stuck in a commitment with a team of people for the next 10-15 years of your life that already is showing conflict and disharmony and discord, you're bringing that home, because your business, startup, or enterprise, or whatever I'm hearing, like venture, you're going to be bringing that home because you'll be working in the office thinking about it. So you'll be bringing these issues home because you'll be breathing, sleeping, eating this issue. So it's whatever you choose to marry yourself into business wise, you'll be bringing home. So be aware of what energies and what collaborations and what sort of connections and team you're building, you're working with in the long term. Are these people you really want to stick with and like gamble and like take that chance? Like you just really met them recently and now you're going to try to do business with them for like the next 10 years? Or maybe you know how they're like because you've been with them for so long that you should know better to do business with them. You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. So that was your spell. That was your reading, pal 3. I certainly hope it was of value to you. If you liked this reading, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell and make sure you don't miss my next reading. I apologize very deeply for it taking 4 months for me to answer your call about the most winning topic. I finally found a structure where I don't burn out. I'm so sorry it took so long to get around to this. I kept burning out and I couldn't find a good way to have a smooth system on how I can keep producing big card readings without burning out, with getting caught up with the whole editing process and whatever, you know. But yeah, I digress. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video.